Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the SDCC 2018 Storm Collectibles Street Fighter V Arcade Edition SHIN Akuma figure, which is the first look at the new standard Akuma build, which he actually just went up for pre-order, or no, not pre-order, he's in stock. The standard blue Akuma, blue Gi Akuma with red hair is in stock at Big Bad Toy Store, so if you're looking for that, check the link in the description below. But this is the first look at that, although now that that's out. Okay, so here's the deal. This review is kind of late. I had to buy this the old-fashioned way by having somebody get it for me at San Diego Comic-Con and then pay them for it. I am in contact with Storm again, so hopefully I'll be getting review samples earlier so you guys can see the figures ahead of time, which is, I know, the most helpful way a review can work. But either way, hopefully that works out. But this one I had to buy the old-fashioned way, so sorry for the delay. Anyway, here's the new Akuma build from Storm, which I'm very happy to show you because you guys know how much I like Akuma, and it does a lot of things really well. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. And this guy stands just about, let's say, to the top of the first chunk of hair, about 19.5 centimeters, and then 21 to the top of his little troll top knot thingy. And then we have, it's not really a top knot, right? Because top knots fold over. Or are they both top knots anyway? Either way, he's about 7.75 to the top of the normal hair, and then 8.25 to the top of the little extra thing. And overall, it looks really good. I guess this color scheme is directly from the game because we have the artwork right here from the game, and it matches it pretty well. So it's almost like a grayish black with just hints of purple on top with a little bit of whitish grayish weathering. I think that looks okay. It's not the exact same sculpt as the lion mane Akuma. Maybe the legs are the same. I didn't check those. I don't think I did. Either way, this is different though. It looks like it's the same and it has the pocket for the beads in there. It's not actually the same sculpt. It's just similar. Okay. As far as the aesthetics go, I'm very pleased with it. The veins look really good for the most part. Maybe they went a bit overboard, but I guess it's pretty much like that in the game. The only real complaint I have is the hair color. It's obviously on the bluer side of gray rather than on the yellower side of gray, and so that's a minor thing. His eyes are more yellow than red on the toy, and they're mostly red on the figure. And then he's got kind of a narrow face for the top half of his head. I definitely would prefer the much broader forehead with the angrier looking, like, mutated eyebrow area. So I wish it was a little bit more accurate, maybe a little bit more a smaller nose. His nose is kind of big, but those are small issues because it still looks really good as it is. So that's okay. I think it's pretty good. It's got a lot of accessories, mostly the same accessories that we saw with the other Akuma, but let's go ahead and go through those. We have 3 interchangeable heads. We have the one neutral head that comes on him in the package. Then we have one that looks kind of angry, and then one where he's yelling. They all look pretty good. They all have the same kind of features and details throughout, so that's fine. We have a few different hands. We have the 2 fist hands that come on him in the package, 2 kind of karate chop-esque hands, 2 style pose loose hands, and then 2 pretty much generic loose hands. We have an interchangeable gi with the kanji on the back. That looks really, really nice. It's very good. And then we have his fire accessories for his forearms that just kind of go on. You take the hands off, put these on, and then they make it look like there's fire coming off of him. And then we have the fireball, which is very nicely done. All of the fire pieces are translucent yellow with orange on top. Very cool looking. And then we have a little display stand for the fireball, which is nice, and it's kind of a frosted base, which is a little odd. But then the upright is totally clear and has ratcheted hinges, and that can peg into the fireball, so you can use that. It can also receive a clip if you want it to do that. I'm not sure why, though, because it's too small for anything of any size. And oddly enough, they're not doing the Street Fighter display stands anymore in these guys, apparently. Or at least in this version, it's not included. So maybe they're just nixing that all together because it cost them too much, or maybe just people decided they didn't want to, or maybe they're not including them anymore because they are selling the stands, similar stands on their own now. I don't know, but it's not included. I don't mind personally because they take up too much space on a display anyhow. So that's okay. Now, as far as Akuma goes, it's mostly your standard Storm Collectibles figure. We already talked about the paint for the most part, so that's good. The articulation's mostly the same as the previous ones. One thing I'll mention, his beads are separate beads on a rope, on a stretchy rope. However, it's just a little bit too tight, so unless you kind of adjust them, they're going to get bunched up and kind of stay that way, because they're not hanging loose. They're actually kind of fighting against each other, but once you kind of pull it out, it's okay. No problem there. The head articulation is nice and stiff, and it's on the double ball peg as before. You can see it has the soft neck. How well does it work? I don't know. Let's find out together. It's a journey, and we're going on it right now. There we go. All right, so, ooh, it works pretty darn well. That's the first time it's worked as effectively as this. That's good. Leaning back, not as much. Forward works pretty well, side to side. Ooh, I like that. That was all just from the bottom of the ball peg. Now we have the top ball peg where we can move the head around. It might sit a little bit high, honestly. Let's see if I can push it down anymore. I can't. So it might sit a little bit, well, maybe I got it a little bit lower. Sits okay. Yeah, it's fine. These guys have a really bulky build anyway, so they often look like they don't have a neck, which I wouldn't mind seeing Storm kind of address that, kind of just taper up to the neck a little bit more instead of making it like a totally square boxy build, but that's okay. The gi is super soft, by the way, so it's not going to get in the way of anything, and you can remove it. Just pop off the belt, pop off the belt, pop off the belt again, pop off the gi, and there you go. It's really, really soft. It'll come right off, no problems. And that's much easier than doing it the way we had to do it for Ryu, so I'm glad that they went this route. You could pull it off faster if you wanted to, but I wouldn't do that because there is paint on it and you don't want to screw up paint anywhere. So as far as the shoulder articulation goes, we're still seeing that ball peg that holds the arm to the body. We still have this floating piece that kind of hides the joint. And then the arms can go up pretty much horizontally. And then, of course, full rotation. I'm not noticing any particularly tight joints, so that's good. Bicep swivel is okay. If maybe a little bit loose, I guess it's okay. It could be tighter. Double jointed elbow. You only get about 90, though. A little bit better. He's kind of bulky. And then for the wrists, we still have the ball peg, ball hinge, straight peg combo, which is nice. I didn't have any issue swapping out any of the hands. This part of the glove is a floating piece, so it kind of just hides the articulation, so that's fine. I think it's a single ball peg. It feels like a single for the torso, but it leans side to side nicely. Full rotation, no problem. Leans pretty far back, pretty far forward. Really no issues. I like it. That's pretty good so far. And let's see if this ball peg works. Yeah, it's slightly stiff, but not a problem. Wow, English. It leans extra far forward, extra far back, side to side. So yeah, you can pose this guy really no problem. Full rotation. Floating crotch piece for the crotch. Hips go out to the side. So we have this new ratchety system. It's not very ratchety on this guy though. Maybe it's not supposed to be. It could be a smooth joint. But it's not just the ball peg like we saw in earlier figures. So that's still really good range, no problem there. They're not floppy, so that's good. Going forward, still not floppy, not as tight as I would prefer. But it's not, I don't think it's a problem. I think it's okay. And you can bring the leg all the way up. That's fine. And pretty much all the way back, though the gi is fighting it. There you go. If you tuck the butt cheek around, you can basically do the splits. So as long as you make sure the butt cheek goes up and you're not like pushing against it, that's fine. So that's really good. It is a little bit looser than I would prefer though. Not totally floppy, but it can. There's a couple spots where it's a little loose. Thigh swivel's fine. Double jointed knees. Yeah, we're just getting about 90. Just about 90 degrees. That could definitely be better, but it looks okay, so that's fine. There is a shin swivel, so that's really good. And then the foot can rotate if you want, though that's kind of worthless. And then going forward and back, it goes back, no problem. Going forward, it's pretty limited. You're not going very far, so you're going to need to use that toe hinge, which isn't bad. It's not super loose. It might work. And then the sandals are still a separate piece. It looks like they're maybe seated a little bit farther back on the foot, but they just you can't quite slide them back as far as you might like, but that's not too bad. So ultimately, it's a really solid figure, and I'm very excited for the standard Akuma release. I feel like that piece is on in the wrong orientation somehow. Nope, I guess that's right. There we go. So yeah, anyway, really, really solid figure. Not 100% perfect, but I really do like it. It looks to me like once we get the standard version of Akuma, you know, the blue one with the red hair, that it may take the throne as the best Akuma figure on the market. Because it's not really fair because we don't have many good ones in the first place. But it's a really solid release, so I like it. I think you guys will like it too, so I recommend it. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, I have new videos up almost every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you come back for that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.